I have two hats to my job. My one hat is to work with families. So I work with families. Families say, Juan, we have these savings. We're not really sure, how to manage them or how to grow them. We know we have goals in the future, but we're not sure how to make sure that those goals come to fruition given the cash or the balances that we have, right? So what do? I think about, okay, what are your goals, right? Like, do you want to buy a house? How far away are those goals? And then I invest that money based on that time horizon. So for example, if a client is wanting to buy a home in 6 months, then that money has to be in something really, really safe, right? Because we can't afford to lose that money. But if somebody wants to send their kid to college in, 15 years, that's more long-term, right? So I'm going to be able to invest that money and let it grow over time. Why? Because we have something that's called inflation, right? And so you've seen the prices of houses go like through the roof in the past year, not alone in the past 10 years, right? So we need to invest money so that we can keep up with that pace of inflation. It's called your purchasing power. So you need to make sure that every dollar that you're saving, you are also investing it so that it can be worth the same later down the road. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I have definitely experienced that before quarantine, I was a little bit more of an extrovert. So I really got energized by meeting with a lot of people. And then came quarantine, right? So I had to adapt and just do a bunch of video calls. And all of a sudden I went from meeting a lot of people to just being me in my dining room on video calls. And we did that for a year, more than a year, right? But now I have a little bit of anxiety when I go out, so I've become more of an introvert. So it's really interesting, but it's changed quite a bit. And it's changed things for like ever. So I think for a long time we've thought about socialism and capitalism, right? Socialism being that we have resources and we divide them. And then capitalism is that we create resources and you get to keep what you make. I think more and more, I used to be more on the capitalist side, but I think I see, now that I'm in this world, I get to see more of how capitalism leaves a lot of people behind. And so there's now something that's called a stakeholder capitalism, right? Where everyone who is a stakeholder gets to participate in that generation or that growth in wealth. So what I mean by that, it's before it used to be just stockholders that used to benefit from the gains of companies. But I think that more and more people want to make sure that all the stakeholders, whether it's the shareholders, the communities in which those companies work, that they all benefit. And I think that that is a much better way of doing business. Because I think we can't be blind to the fact that capitalism does leave a lot of people on the sidelines, and it doesn't allow a full economy to participate. In any profession, you're going to have to work really hard to be good at it, right? Whether your job right now is to be a student, right? So in order to be a good student, you have to put the time and the work, right? Just like any other profession, finance, you have to study it constantly because things are ever evolving. But I think it's really amazing to develop these relationships with people. And especially for like young women and diverse communities like here, we need you in finance. And also, people want you in finance. Like there's a chair that's not being occupied because it's got your name on it. People are constantly looking for diverse candidates, right? And so there's this big world out there that you may not be privy to right now, but as you get out of school, right, like think about some of the things that you really want to do, like what are the big aspirations that you have, and find a way to connect with somebody who can show you the way or lead you in that direction. That's really important. So aside from being a financial advisor, I'm part of an organization called the Association of Latinos Professionals for America. And I am constantly asked if I know Latino or diverse candidates that can fill roles. So, you know, just be conscientious. There's some big opportunities for you guys out there.
Hi, I'm Daniel Hawker.
And I'm CJ Solgat.